Hey, you're here. Yeah, I think it had a privacy thing on there. Yay, so yeah, you're here. Thing is, with YouTube, I don't have so many people on YouTube following me, so I don't know that don't know that anyone else is going to watch. That's the thing. I mean, I don't know if they're promoting it or what. You know, like YouTube, and TikTok, Facebook are all different, so I try and reach a different audience, but I don't know. See, Israel's just mentioned me in a comment. I'm going to share the video to newsfeed. So I just shared it, but Israel commented on it, but I didn't see what she commented because I can't come out of the live. So she commented on the post. Yeah, YouTube is yeah, it's already not as popular as TikTok. Put it that way. Yeah, it's already not as popular as TikTok, so it's a bit of a difficult one. I can see the one person watching, but I can't actually see your comments coming up because it keeps hiding them. It puts the comments back, and it's like I can only see them for a brief second when they come up, and then they disappear again. So I think the thing with this is that problem being I have less followers on YouTube, so there's less people to choose from, and you never know, I thought maybe it would do like TikTok does and try and get people from other places to, you know, try and get people who are not following me to watch it, but it doesn't seem to be doing that. So I may come off of this and go on to Facebook because it's just not seeming to be trying to get anyone to watch. Enable flashlight, mute microphone, yeah. Yeah, see, there's my face, my ugly face. But yeah. So I just got your comment saying you'd never done a live on YouTube before. Yeah, it's well, having seen this app, yeah, having seen how the way this works, I won't be doing it again, unfortunately. Oh no, 3 people watching. Hello, 3 people were watching, then no, 1 again. Oh no, they saw my face. 2 people watching. Yay. But I can't see who the other person is, so I know one of them's Jason. I can't see who the other person is, so I am just going to flick the camera around. 3 people watching again. Yay! So there are people here. The chat is not doing so well, but yeah, 2 people watching. So say hello if you're the other person that's watching. Don't be shy. Speak. Hey, it's Michelle. Yeah, it's Michelle's here. Have to check out your story after this first review. Yes, I will, definitely. Yeah. So my comments are well, not comments, yes, comments. What am I talking about? Comments. They're coming up and then they're disappearing, so I can't see them. So they'll do a little bit. They'll do a little bit of a jump up, and then a little bit of a disappearing act again. So, and they're coming up for like half a second. So, yeah, not easy. I'm just going to go down the way part through the fields again. I'm not going to go down the whole railway route because it's still quite warm, and Poppy doesn't like it. She gets too tired and hot and doesn't get a drink. So, yeah, we'll be on after the video. I saw something right down. Top chat. Yes, we'll put top chat on. They will be there after the video. After on the video. 3 people are watching. Hello. Who's the third person? Tell me who you are. We have Jason, we have Michelle. But who's the third person? Which we, if you're not someone who's familiar with what I do, I usually do this on Facebook and we go around and we talk about books while we're walking the dog. So, I am the author of the Derailed and Dispersed series, A Midwinter Night's Dream, The Broccoli, the Stilton and the Haystack, Roaring into the Sunset, and Maria's Photograph. Yeah, so I'm working on part 5 of Derailed and Dispersed at the moment. I'm having a brother and sister fight, I think, which is quite funny. Brother and sister who have superpowers are fighting each other on the roof of a building in China. One person's gone. Where did that person go? Obviously wasn't bothered. Oh dear. It's really quite, you say hello to someone when they come in, you know they're there, you know they heard you say hello, and they disappeared. China, because it's in China because one of them gets blasted off for halfway around the world to Australia, and then they sort of meet somewhere on the way. They meet. He's going after her. She's coming back to the UK, and they sort of meet in the middle somewhere. So yeah. And their navigation skills aren't very good because she's never been out of the house before and doesn't know the right way. She sort of somehow ends up in China on the way back from Australia. Yeah. And it's a bit of a satire thing. Yeah, so yeah, there's a lot going on in this book. It's I don't know if you've read any of them. I know you had them on. You said you had them on Kindle. Don't know how many of them you've read or if you've read any. But yeah, sort of trying to tie up the loose ends, and I kind of sent a character off to Australia in the last book. Just to do something really unexpected. Because so far in the series, the whole of the series has taken place on the marshes outside of Great Yarmouth. And yeah, so I decided to do something random and send her off to Australia in the middle of the fight. Yeah. So yeah, I don't know whether you how many of the books you've read, if you've read any of them, but that sort of happened in part 4, and this is how she gets back from Australia. And it takes her all of a few minutes because she can fly at the speed of light. But yeah. But she can fly at the speed of light at the cost of the fact that she has to consume lots of calories and has to stop off in other countries and eat fast food in between. So she can't fly back all in one go. And has to avoid being seen, of course. So she can only do little jumps, like little hops between countries before sort of like the way the Flash did in has to eat all these calories. I know that's about all I remember about the Flash, especially the one in what was the film called? Justice League. The one in Justice League, yeah, played by a really terrible actor and apparently a really terrible human being as well. We were talking about him, I mean, they're fighting because they're on, I've just seen that, they're fighting because they're on separate sides. They're, yeah, better viewing. Okay. Yeah, they're fighting because they're on separate sides of the argument. They're sort of born on, though they're twins. One of them, they're sort of, it's hard to explain. They're born on the bad side, but one of them wants to change sides and fight for the good people. So they're born on the side of the bad people, and the girl doesn't want to fight for the bad people. She wants to fight for the good people. So, and she's just been outed as being a traitor to her kind. So they send her brother after her to murder her. And he's about to find out that that's not going to be possible. But he also doesn't. But he also doesn't really want to kill her either, because obviously she's his sister. But he has to make out to his side, the people on his side, that he's trying to kill her, when maybe he really isn't, and maybe the fight is a fake. So there's lots of sort of parodies in there about how in certain movies and stuff like that, where the enemies meet up with each other and talk about stuff and stuff like that. I'll have to let you read the book to know whether they're going to join forces or not. At the moment, no. But they won't join forces. But not at the moment. That might happen later on. They won't join forces at the moment, because if they join forces at the moment, then both of them will be killed. But that may happen later on. Or there may be a surprise. but I'm not just going to give away the whole story on the YouTube channel in case people want to. No, in case people are actually watching these videos. So yeah. No more book fairs coming up at the moment because there aren't any local and I can't get to ones further away. But I did sell 9 books the other day. I am getting some reads on KU. So it's getting some interest. At some point in the next few weeks while the weather's warm, I'm going to try to sell some outside my house, but there are some local bookstores, but I don't know of any local bookstores that will do signings for indie authors and stuff like that, because they're all sort of run, they're like Waterstones and stuff like that. You know, they prefer to have books by recognised publishers, stuff like that. So my books won't be in there because, you know, you'd have to. We have Gerald as well, which is that's a local printing company, which has a local. They have a bookstore there, and they print their own books, so they're like a how do you put it? They're actually, what they actually are is a department store, but they have their own printing company attached to the department store as well. So they print, so they are sort of like mini publishers. And one of my author friends has a book in there, but he had to go to a lot of trouble to get that one book in that shop, and it was literally one book. It wasn't loads of copies of that book. They said he could put one book in there, and if it sold, then they would buy another one. So yeah, this is what I'm saying. I mean, he had quite a lot of difficulty getting the book in there. We have a few like charity boxes where people where you put the books in and then people give money to charity for them, but I wouldn't make any money out of that. So yeah, so chat keeps disappearing. Top chat. Any book fairs come up? Yeah.
Distance 1 mile. Duration 21 minutes.
Okay.
17 seconds.
So Jason
Pace,
says he'll be silent.
21
Okay, that's
minutes,
I saw.
17
I've only just seen that.
per
Yeah.
mile, 100.
I can completely understand that.
Kilocalories burned.
Yeah. So I haven't gone in to ask them specifically yet because I've been busy with other things, and you know that it takes time and planning to go and do something like that. But I will mention to them that if it's Gerald's especially, I will mention to them that their department store is actually mentioned in the book. When the character is talking about having gone there when she was a kid and wished that she could afford to buy stuff, and remembers going up and down the escalators at Christmas, you know, going in and wanting and seeing the stuff but not being able to buy it, and then coming back years later as an adult and going in and buying stuff for her sisters, who she has three very much younger sisters on her dad's side. So she's an adult and she has three little sisters on her dad's side. So she's going in Christmas shopping for them, and being happy because she as an adult can now afford to spoil her little sisters when her mum couldn't afford to buy her anything. So yeah, so their shop actually gets a mention in it, as does the Castle Mall in Norwich, when it was a big hole in the ground. I remember the days when Norwich's Castle Mall was the biggest hole in Europe. And but the character in this book says in her own way, when they tell her it's the biggest man-made hole in Europe, she goes, "No, my mum's hole's bigger and it's had more men in it." So yeah, I don't think that YouTube tries to find any I really don't think that YouTube tries to say, well, let's get it some viewers and come and get you to look at this video. I really don't think it does. Unlike TikTok, so TikTok will try to get viewers for your video and it'll get all of the wrong ones and they'll walk out quite quickly. But I don't think that YouTube does that. I had one other person here briefly. Isra messaged me. I don't know what she said because I couldn't get back onto Facebook. Come on, Poppy. Come on, Poppy. So she's probably telling me, I don't want to be part of your live video, blah 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 blah, you're rubbish and all that. So, or she hasn't got YouTube. I think that may be the case that she's not got YouTube. But yeah, we have nice sunshine over there. So yeah, okay, you're back for now. The messages the chat didn't go up, so I didn't know anyone was talking to me. So yeah, doesn't go up automatically. Okay. Well, thank you for that. I thought that might be the case because she's probably busy doing stuff. So yeah. Yeah, it's the same thing with this. If I go out of the live to check another app, the live will end. So yeah, I decided that I'm going to do the live reading tomorrow night. So that'll be like a week on from the previous one, I think, because tonight I've just had too much to do and I've got pills to put in boxes when I get back and stuff like that, and then I've got more writing to do. So but we have a fox. Unfortunately, you probably didn't get to see that. So I was stood up on the bank there getting Poppy out of the way, and yeah, there was a fox that just appeared on that corner, but the Land Rover scared it off. So I was watching a woman doing a she was doing on TikTok, she was doing an audiobook recording, Now I want to do my audiobook recordings, but I'm not certain whether I need a better microphone than the one I've got and better sound recording equipment, and need a padded room. So yeah, stuff like that. But this made me laugh because this woman, she was doing the audiobook in let's say she was doing it in an English accent, and she was doing it in a Bridget Jones English accent. She's like, the characters were going to Sainsbury's to get some. So they were quite posh. No, she's like she's not see, in the way that Bridget Jones is posh, and speaks with an upper class British accent like this. And they were going to Sainsbury's to get some food for supper, right? And I thought straight away, when she turns the microphone off, she's going to be American. and she was going, she was repeating it, and she was going, Sainsbury's. We were off to Sainsbury's. We were off to Sainsbury's to get some lunch. And yeah, then she pressed it. She was like, oh, I don't know if I did that right. You know, I have to keep practicing it. And I'm like, yep. And I'm like, you tell a mile away that she was American and not British. Because she was trying too hard with the accent. But she was very good though. It sounded like a good book, and she was reading it very well, if I'm honest. Just the accent was yeah. But then I have a character in my book that I'm writing, the Damson Spirit, who speaks like that, who speaks in the Bridget Jones type way, and but she knows she does it for effect. She is she went to a posh upper class school and stuff like that, and she is married to someone who didn't go to an upper class school, and they tease each other about her accent. And and she says something, and she goes, awfully sorry, old chap. And he's like, how sorry are you again? She goes, oh, awfully sorry. I see Michelle's battery is dying and needs to plug it in. Yeah, I've had that same problem. Oh, Poppy wants to go home. Look at this. This is just like, what the fuck? I mean, why would you just come down here and drink cider? And they were probably kids, and they were drinking cider and they were smoking as well. Yep. I reckon they're for yeah. They are probably local kids. They're probably the ones that have been causing trouble. But you know, there's nothing much for the local teenagers to do around here. So they get their exercise by walking all the way out here, and then drinking their 4 cans of cider. And then there's Count Stella here, and yeah, and there's loads of fag ends down there as well. So yeah, fag ends. Yeah, I heard that it means a different thing means a different thing in the States. A fag in the States is a completely different thing from what a fag is here. So, yeah. One of my scouts got in trouble last week for using that word. Yeah. So I'm not going to be very popular if I have to look after him again this week. Because I said, I don't know, we'll just, I told him why it was wrong, and but then someone else overheard him saying it and went and told his mum. So I'm probably going to get into trouble with him for his mum finding out, but who cares, you shouldn't say it. So, yeah. Yeah. Yeah, so when a British person says they're going for a fag, it doesn't mean they're it's got nothing to do with anyone's sexuality. It just purely means they're smoking. So, yeah, which isn't a great habit. I've never done it, but a lot of the characters in my books do, because some people do. It wouldn't be so true to life if people didn't. But we have, I have a sort of fallen against thing with stuff like that in my books. There's characters who hate it and characters who do it, and sometimes characters who do it hate it as well. Yeah. Yeah, I sort of you sort of see it as being a bad thing, but I sort of portray it as being a bad thing, but I portray it as being a bad thing, but most of the characters in my stories who are smokers are trying to give it up at least. In Maria's photograph, the teacher was a smoker because just about everyone was back in those days. And even she gave it up in the end, even though it was before they knew that it was bad for you. But yeah, it's sort of yeah. Especially the character that I'm working on at the moment, she is someone who's got addiction problems, but she's really trying hard to give it up. And there's a character in my other book, A Midwinter Night's Dream, who she does it at the start of the book and then but then gives up sort of halfway through. But you never know. It was like it's part of it sort of had different personas, because there's three different versions of her in the book. Three different versions of the same person, and basically three different versions of the same person, and one of them smokes. But is trying to get, is again like the others, still trying to give it up. But she has her reasons for it. So I don't know. It's even she portrays it as being bad. And she's saying she's talking about it and saying that she sort of did it to try and fit in and be with fit in with the other people to start with, even though she didn't like it, and then got addicted to it and has been trying to give it up ever since, and stuff like that. But I can't remember the exact proportions. There's like in Derailed and Dispersed, there's like 20 main characters, and I'd probably say probably about 5 of them are smokers or former smokers. But it's kind of not the main focus of the book. But yeah. Yeah, the weather's quite calm here. There's no wind. It's not really overcast. It's sort of somewhere in the middle, really. Yeah, it's still quite warm. The sun's sort of not really out anymore yet, and there's a bit of a breeze. Yeah, I'm still sweating, so, and I haven't exactly walked that fast. And in these shoes, to be honest, I cannot walk very fast in these shoes. Would you believe it? We've been going 38 minutes, right? And yeah, it's these shoes, I cannot walk very well in them at all. I need to get some better ones, because we've been going for 38 minutes, right? If I'd gone all the way down to Buxton and gone down the railway, come back up there, wearing my other shoes, I would only literally just be back there. I would have got around so much quicker. But with these, you can feel every bump in the road. Yeah. Yeah, I'm literally feeling in these like I'm wearing socks. And these two people ahead just appeared out of that field. So, wonder what they were doing in the field. They must have been behind me when I was on the other side of it. Poppy's struggling a bit, I think. But you can see them up ahead as well. Come on, get Pops, come on, get, come on. So yeah. Fucking hell. Yeah. So we're not going to see the cows today, obviously. Yeah, so I say these shoes, these are water shoes basically for going kayaking in, and but my Crocs basically wore through right to the bottom, so there was holes in them. I need to get some trainers. My other ones I've got are flip-flops, so they're not going to be suitable for walking in. So yeah.
Distance 2 miles. Duration 45 minutes. 16 seconds. Pace 23 minutes. 58 seconds per mile. 284
Top chat, see if anyone's actually,
kilocalories
yes.
burned.
Hang on. I'm finding it hard to see the chat on here. Okay, 1 mile behind you finally took my break. That's the one I've just seen, and Jen has 2 shelves full and the laundry basket. Yeah, Natalie had a few shoes, but she had a few pairs, and they're just piling up everywhere on, she never wore half of them, so I chucked them out because I chucked some of them out anyway because we didn't have enough space in the house. And then, after saying, she didn't want them and I chucked them out, she then says, well, I can't find any of my shoes. What have you done with them? I assume Michelle has gone. She said her phone might run out. So, yeah. This is quite hard to do. Top chat. Why am I not seeing it? Okay. I learn more about live chat. Connecting. Well done. Shouldn't have run connected in the first place, you stupid thing. Well, this is what I'm looking like today. Hey, ugly. That way. Don't want to see that. Ugh. Yeah, so my feet are really hurting from walking on there. Oh look, the same people with the strongbow going up there. I'm trying to keep behind those people up there because I don't want to catch up to them. And then I've got to do Daniel's pills, and yeah. So go back to top chats. Yeah. No more on there. So I'm also working on the theory as well in this book that that the women are a lot tougher than the men. And when the brother and sister are fighting, he says, I'll finish you off in a minute like I used to do when we were kids. He's like, anytime we got in an argument and fought each other when we were kids, I'll finish you off in a minute. And she then grabs his arm and says, the only reason you finished me off is because I let you. She sort of reveals to him the only reason I finished you. you finished me off is because I let you, because it didn't it wouldn't look good on you if you got beaten up by your sister. But that's the whole the whole thing, is that they don't really want to fight each other because they're related, and they want to get on with each other, and they want to get on with each other, but they're sort of bound to be on different sides, because she had the strength to fight against the evil and he didn't. And then you find out that they've got the backstory that even though they are magical beings, they actually had quite a normal human childhood. Apart from the whole spirits talking to them, and dark magic being in the house and stuff like that. So, yeah. So what happens after the current series ends? There's loads of spin-off books from different characters. I've got loads of other books that I want to write as well. That I'm writing one, a spin-off about the werewolf character, told from her partner's perspective. I'm writing a spin-off about the disabled character who's in there. They'll pop up in some other books as well. Another one of the characters in there is going to be in a book about a guy who marries a woman with learning difficulties. Yeah, that's another one sort of I'm thinking about that for quite a while. I'm doing a sequel to A Midwinter Night's Dream, which I know Jen said she was interested in because she wanted to know more about the characters from there. Obviously, I'm writing The Damson Spirit, which has little cameos from the characters from this book, but is not based on them. And then, of course, there is the Tale of the Red-Headed Witch, which is going to hopefully be epic, because that was the first book I ever started writing, and that was the one that was on the floppy disk that got lost and damaged, and she makes an appearance in this book as well, so in Derailed and Dispersed, but she's going to get her own story, which is probably going to be the most epic of all of them. But she makes an appearance in this book as a child, so she hasn't found out what she is yet. So, yeah. After Brighton, you're going to work on Diffra's Dream and American Car Culture. Yeah, again, sounds good. So many different things. I mean, I started writing a book way back a long time ago, about a group of sisters who fell into another world, and that would be interesting to do. But again, I was writing that in 2015, and my computer, which I had at the time, broke and it didn't save properly. The moment, the title for that is The Village of Empty Graves, or The Land Downstream, or another title for it was the subtitle was Somewhere Under the Rainbow, because there was a cave which seems to have a rainbow at the bottom of it. You know, some of the water is sort of flowing over it, causing the light coming up from underneath to cause a rainbow. So they don't know what's down there, but they find a rope ladder where these two children seem to have gone, and they find the rope ladder down there, and one of them goes down to see if these two children have gone down there, and the rope ladder breaks, and all of them fall down. And they find a world like Narnia underneath it, and it's their task maybe their task is to try to get up again. But then they realise that all of the people who were missing from the village over the years must have fallen down that hole. And when they get down there, they actually find this whole society of people living down in this sort of like world which has a porthole. There's a portal to another world there, which means it's not really there, but it's there. But it's a portal to another world, so they're not really underneath our world. They've just fallen into a different one through the porthole, which makes it look as though this world is hidden in a cave. And they find a lot of all of the people who have fallen down there over the years have formed their own society in this other world. So, yeah. So this is interesting. A drain that goes nowhere. I imagine that was underneath the ground at some point. Yeah. So yeah, quite a lot of ideas, and I had a short story which I did based on that, based on the characters from that story. I did the short story which was set in 2020, just before the COVID outbreak. This was something that I did for my uni work, so I used the characters from that story, but it was the daughter of the main character who was telling the story. And she was commenting at one point on how her parents and her aunt all looked so young, because the link to that is that they basically fell into the fountain of life and they can't die. But she doesn't know that. But she does die, sadly. I really liked her character, but I had to kill her off in like 2,500 words. That story was called The Watcher on the Hill. Basically, she thought she was quarantining because she thought she was in quarantine. I know it's a very sensitive subject. She thought that she was quarantining because she'd got the symptoms of COVID, so she went to stay up on the hill in a caravan away from the rest of her family, who she hadn't been in contact with anyway because she'd been away at a conference. But she actually goes down after she can't get any contact with them because there's no phone contact up there. But she actually goes down after spending 2 weeks in isolation. She goes down to find that actually she died on the way there in a car accident. So yeah, nothing to do with COVID at all. And the real reason why no one's been contacting her is not because of the phone signal, but because she wasn't there in the first place. yeah, not a very nice story, but it got me a really good grade. So I scored 10 points down on it because it was marked a few so it was marked a bit late. It would have been I scored 64 on it out of 100, but that's with the 10 points being taken off, so it would have been 74 out of 100. Yeah, exactly. If we were nice, we wouldn't be authors. Okay, so I'm almost back. I'm going to shut off.